Hello, everyone. I'm here wanting to talk to people about the COVID-19. There's so many questions, things going on. If you're out there, kind of jump in and join in. Because to me, the COVID-19 is not going to go away anytime soon. It's here. And my big question is how many of you think that you will not get COVID-19 at all? Because finding out there's some people that don't think that COVID will affect them because they're doing everything they can to keep out of the way of getting COVID, or that they've already had it and they don't think they can get it again. Well, I just want to know. Because, see, I'm diabetic, so I worry about the COVID. I don't want to get it. Even though I think that I've had it, I don't want to get it again. Because even though I think that I had it last Christmas, I'm still getting over it. I still have relapses where things affect my body. But when I got it, at the time, they didn't know what it was. They just knew it was a virus of some kind. They chalked it up as a flu virus and passed it off. But doesn't mean that I can't get it again. That's my biggest fear, that I'm going to get it again. If you're out there and if you have a chance, kind of contact me because I like to know what you think. There's all these scientists and everything giving us ideas and everything, and I'm gonna go and give me just a second, and I'm gonna adjust my sound because the sound's not coming in the way that I think it should be. So let me kind of adjust it. There we go. Is that any better? There we go. This is that one you gotta talk to be heard. And I hate to wear it like this. Well, let's turn around like so. Oh, that's the part. I'm not getting much on the way up. Either way, I don't know if you can hear me or not. This thing's supposed to be very sensitive, but it doesn't seem to be doing much. Anyway, come on, let's talk COVID. I not worried about where you're from or anything like that. And we can talk like this back and forth. And I'd just like to know what you think about this COVID's going on. And like I said, I want to know if you think that you're going to get it or if you're going to avoid it altogether. You know, I used to play this game called Biotech or something like that. Anyway, where you made up a virus and stuff and you tried to infect the whole globe and try to eliminate everybody. And one thing that I noticed on it,
that when I developed it, the time that it took for it to really take off took almost 2 years of time. Well, anywhere from 18 to 24 months for it to take off. And then it started affecting all the other countries. And now I found out that if I kept the kill rate down during the game, that it could spread faster to everybody else. And faster it started spreading, then I could start adding things to the virus to make it a kill rate. I was pretty successful. I got to where I could eliminate everybody on the globe, including myself, during this time. But I just want to know what you're thinking about all this. Because to me, COVID 19 is playing out the same way that it did with one of those games. I noticed that game isn't too popular anymore. Not too many people are playing it. And I wonder sometimes if these chemical companies or somebody in foreign lands developed these games just to see what it would take to eliminate everybody in the world. Well, COVID, I don't think it's going to eliminate everybody in the world. Not unless it does some drastic changes. But you never can tell. At first, it was just old people. Then anybody over 30 could get it. Then anybody over 20 can get it. Now children can get it too. Your pets, your dogs, your cats, and everything can. You can. They can get COVID-19, and it got me to thinking about the asteroid that hit off of Yucatan Peninsula. It got me kind of playing a little scenario in my head. It might be sound a little wild fetch out there, but you never know. It could happen. Let's say this, that there was a virus about like 100 years before the asteroid, and it started killing off the dinosaurs. And kill rate would be small to begin with, like it is now. But dinosaurs being meat eaters, they would eat these rotting flesh that was, lying on the ground and things like that. But they're lying on the ground and they're eating them, well, then that's going to spread the virus at a faster rate. It may even have a chance to mutate. But anyway, these viruses started killing off the dinosaurs at a high rate. And then I said, well, what would happen to the dinosaurs? Would somebody come around, bury them? No, there'll be more to come by and eat them. Ones that eat plants and all, they would just walk by them. But there would be so many of them lying on the ground rotting till the stench would be at a high rate. But more than that, these large bodies lying on the ground rotting would produce lots of methane. Methane that would float up into the ozone, causing a warming effect or lessening of the ozone. Either way, climate problems going on. And as more of them died, more of it got up there. Till the ozone was almost totally depleted because of all the methane from all of it dying. Which got me to asking, did the asteroid have a trajectory to hit the Earth before the ozone was about totally depleted? And if it didn't, would the gravitational pull of the Earth reach above our ozone level because of climate problems? and grab that asteroid and bring it to Earth, creating a disaster hitting the Yucatan and throwing up dust and stuff and everything to where it destroyed the Earth. Anyway, it's just a scenario. Maybe the dinosaurs got COVID 19 and or a different type of virus or something like that, and it started killing them all off. And that led to the asteroid passing by being able to feel the gravity of the Earth at a further pace than what it normally would. Thus, you get the asteroid being pulled into the Earth. Little scenario going off in my head, but this is about the COVID 19. This is also about mental health. I've heard a lot of chatter on the internet lately how this isolation and everything has affected our children and affected them mentally. That mental health and mental problems are showing up in children at a higher rate because of social distancing. Children learn to interact with each other through school. That's where they learn kind of their little picking order, where they're going to fit in. And no matter how you look at it, they all have to play the social order pecking game to find out where they're going to fit in into life. Every social animal out there does that. I mean, all the way from the lions to the horses to the fish to the birds of the air and everything. They all have their social order and they make their own little pecking list on where each one fits in. It doesn't matter if they're male or female. What matters is the order that they fit into the clan. And the children are messed up because they're missing out on. They don't know where to fit in. And when they ask questions to the mother and father, like most mother and fathers, majority of them, they don't know how to answer the question. Thus leads confusion in the children's eyes or children's mind. It leads for problems. The ones that had already established a pecking order, they lost all that. The moment everybody had to be secluded, and that created a problem. Even in high school and the colleges, they had the social orders, and when they become locked up or shut down away from that pecking order, they lost all of that, and now they're finding people that was addicted to things like YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all like that, where they had social order and they had their little pecking hierarchy or where they would fit into the fit into it all. They found out that they've lost lots of that. You know, an addiction is an addiction. It doesn't always have to be alcohol or drugs or smoking in my case. An addiction is anything that you have to do each and every day to sit and establish yourself in a regular way. I like to play games. I think that you may like to play games. And that's where I kind of fit in, but I know what it is. Even though sometimes I try to limit it, I still know what it is. And I too fall into that category because I like to feel good when I'm winning the game and everybody's cheering me on. That makes me feel good. But you know, there's still an addiction. And all these people that had this addiction hasn't got it anymore. And there's people that's old enough, like me, that's going out there. It just doesn't matter to them. They get sick and die. They just get sick and die. To them, it doesn't matter. To younger people that seen these older people do this, they feel like they can do it too, and so they just don't care about it. They just go and do their own little thing and forget about social distancing altogether. Then there's this thing called cabin fever, where people, if they're locked up or shut down for too long, they have to get out and do something. And whatever that is that they do, they
They just not doing it well. Anyway, let's see. These are the things that are causing problems right now. I think this COVID 19 is not a matter if you get it, it's a matter of when you get it. And even when you get it, doesn't mean that you can't get it over and over and over. I think it's always going to change. I think it's like the flu. Each and every year, they come out with a new shot that you can take, and with these shots, you can kind of help you overcome the flu for that year. Most of the time, they get it right, and the shot helps. But sometimes they get it wrong, and people just get worse about the flu than what they would have normally. Some people get it religiously. They gotta have the little social order in order to, you know, really feel like that they can break that chain of bonds over the flu. And some people just don't care if they get the flu or not. And some people think they're immune to it. I know I ain't pronounced that right. You gotta forgive my southern accent. Some things are hard for me to pronounce. Other things are not. Okay. I wish somebody would join me. I know I'm sitting here doing a live chat about this, and I want to talk to others out there and get their opinion about what's going on with the COVID 19. I know that I sit and I worry about it each and every day. Like I said, I'm diabetic, so if, and I think that I've already had it, but I still have it coming back each and every month. I know that something comes back each and every month. It's like a little clock to me. Matter of fact, I can't really take my insulin like I'm supposed to take each and every day because I think it lowers my resistance to some way, another to this flu or whatever bug I got, and allows it to come back. After a while, I get deathly sick and I have to stop taking the insulin and let it pass through my system. I don't know what's going on. I'm scheduled to see the doctor next month and I explain to them what's going on. Maybe they can help. Maybe they can't. You never know. So, this is my worry. This is my fear. Now, I know that COVID 19 has been one of those things that's kind of slow to come on and everybody kind of passed it off to begin with. And then there was lots of information coming from people blogging and saying things on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. That just didn't make sense. Even I said into it. I bought into it. And I'm no doctor or anything close to it. But I really feel like this COVID 19 is going to come back year after year after year. Some years it's going to be good, some years it's going to be bad, some years are going to be where very few people get sick and die, where there's going to be years where lots of people get sick and die. It's just going to be one of those things. You know, for a long time they thought polio has been wiped out and polio's coming back. Polio, I think, is a bacterial infection that affects people. It may be viral. I just virus related. I just don't know, but I know that mm, polio is coming back because people not taking immunization shots like they need to, so it's coming back. There are other things that come back. There was an outbreak of a flu, I think a couple few years back, and they couldn't understand where it was coming from. They thought it was the bird flu, SARS, whatever, and it turned out to be the Spanish flu making a resurgence back into our society, and it killed a few people. You know, even with the plague, even though most people are immune to some of the things of the plague, sometimes there are people that are born that are not immune to the plague and they die from it. So the plague is still around. And there are other things like meningitis. There's bacterial meningitis and virus meningitis. If you get the virus one, you're going to be dead in just a few days. Bacterial meningitis may take up to a week, but it's still going to kill you. But there are treatments that you can get for it. Even though the shots for it, you have to go through um, everything in the world to get it, just to be able to get the shots for it. But you can overcome bacterial meningitis. But meningitis is one of them that's out there. Well, let's take a talk about Ebola. Ebola is very big in some countries, and they say that that is uh, a type of virus that comes from living in dirty water, filthy water, and stuff like that because it's waterborne. But you can clean up the water and get rid of the Ebola, but still the people that get it, it has a very high kill rate. Very few people overcome the Ebola. Same thing about jaundice and yellow fever. It's still around. So I believe that this COVID is going to be like all those other ones. And I think it's been around for a long time because I can see the relation all the way to Legion's disease that happened during the 70s and 80s, and then to the bird flu and stuff that broke out in China and Asia and places like that where they had to kill so many chickens and everything like that. But I think it had mutated to become SARS, which killed again lots of birds and everything like that. And they say that this happened because of bats. Now, certain parts of Asia, bats are considered very much of a delicacy to eat and stuff like that. But then you may get bit by one or eat it or whatever. And I think that's how the SARS become COVID-19 because of mutation of the virus, which tells me that there's going to be more mutations to the COVID 19. If it's mutated before, what's going to stop it from mutating again? If we come up with a thing in our body that helps us fight off the COVID 19, well, then COVID 19 will change its way it does, change itself into something that what we put in for antibodies can fight off a new. Anyway, I don't think anybody going to join me, so I'm going to end this and then I'm going to delete it. But I'm just a layman. I've got questions just like you about COVID 19. And I hope someday that they do come out with some type of shot or some way of getting over this. But like I said, I don't think it's a matter of if you get it, it's a matter of when you get it. Because I believe it's going to be around like the flu year after year. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. Bye bye.